Monday, January 27th, and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Beyond the Gates. New daytime series premieres CBS Monday, February 24th.
Watch 19 News and Weather on YouTube. Just search and subscribe. WZMQ 19 News is always available for streaming 24/7, and it's free.
Good evening, everyone. I'm John Truitt. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, the latest on the destructive wildfires that are decimating Southern California, where the death toll is now more than 24. Plus, the city of Gladstone considers a new approach to adult beverages, joining a number of other UP cities, why the DDA is proposing a social district, and why State House Republicans are hitting the pause button on a series of bills that would add Department of Corrections employees to a police pension program. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Some lake effect snow bands for Marquette during the day Tuesday here. And temperatures will be only in the mid to upper teens and perhaps a couple of inches of snow from Marquette. Higher amounts in the traditional snow belts west and east of the city itself. Temperatures throughout the area staying in the upper teens to around 20 degrees with some lake effect snow showers as well, particularly on the western shores of Lake Superior. Rest of the forecast coming up later in the show.
Thanks, Tom. A Gwynn area man is facing multiple charges after police say he fired a gun at a vehicle. Last Friday around 8 p.m., Michigan State Police were dispatched to a report of a single vehicle crash on County Road 545 near M94 in West Branch Township. 56-year-old Jeffrey Johnson was arrested for operating while intoxicated and lodged at the Marquette County Jail. The next morning, residents at the home near the crash site reported the windows on their vehicle appeared to have been shot out. A further investigation determined Johnson had allegedly fired a rifle at a vehicle parked outside of a residence before crashing his truck that previous night. The firearm believed to be involved in the incident was found near the crash site, concealed in a bush. Johnson was additionally charged with felonious malicious destruction of property, discharging a firearm at a residence, and felony firearm charges. He was arraigned earlier today. His bond was set at $30,000 with conditions. He's due back in court on January 23rd. Wildfires across Los Angeles County have killed at least 24 people, destroyed more than 12,000 structures, and scorched more than 60 square miles. The Palisades and Eaton wildfires are still raging. Tonight, there's new fear that heavy winds in the forecast could make the catastrophic situation even worse. Dania Bacchus reports from Los Angeles.
From an outlook over the Palisades, firefighters survey the scarred landscape and prepare for the next major battle against the catastrophic Los Angeles wildfires. Powerful Santa Ana winds are expected to kick up again, possibly triggering new fires and hampering recent progress in containing the devastating blazes.
As the increasing wind event is upon us as we speak, the Los Angeles City Fire Department has maximized our resource capabilities and response capabilities.
President Biden and senior administration officials, including Vice President Kamala Harris, held a briefing on the crisis in Southern California.
We have no higher priority than the safety of you folks in Los Angeles. We're going to keep doing everything possible to help you get through this.
More than 15,000 firefighters are now in place, compared to fewer than 1,500 when the fire started. Hundreds of evacuees and volunteers gathered at Santa Anita Park in Arcadia, where a grassroots donation center was set up a few miles south of the Eaton fire zone. CBS News has obtained video of this 8-acre blaze on New Year's Eve. It's in the same area where the Palisades fire exploded. Firefighters noted the connection.
The foot of the fire started real close to where the last fire was on New Year's Eve.
Officials said they have not ruled out whether embers from that fire reignited. Dania Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
The National Weather Service issued a red flag warning for severe fire conditions through Wednesday. Gusts in the mountains could reach 70 miles an hour. As the manager of the Delta County Airport prepares to step down next month, he is urging the airport's advisory board to make changes. In December, Manager Robert Randstadler asked the subcommittee to review the advisory board's bylaws. But today, the subcommittee reported that it found nothing needed to be changed. Randstadler believes the advisory board should have a more active purpose outlined in its bylaws, and that members should advocate on behalf of the airport in front of the county commission.
I felt at times that I was on an island, and it's a struggle in this position. If we don't have a meaningful way to advocate for change or ask the county or the public for that change, then how are we going to accomplish it?
After some debate, the advisory board only made minor changes to the bylaws, like a correction to its standard agenda. The city of Gladstone could soon offer a new way to enjoy and support local breweries. The Downtown Development Authority is exploring the possibility of establishing a social district. A social district is a designated outdoor area where patrons can drink alcoholic beverages from select local businesses. When Sanders Point Brewing announced it would be opening last year, residents suggested the idea of a social zone. The director says a social district could be a boost to the local economy.
It would have a huge impact on placemaking in our downtown, really creating a more thriving, vibrant community where people not only come downtown to shop, but they actually come downtown to stay and spend time with one another.
The Downtown Development Authority is still seeking public input to gauge interest. You can find a DDA social district survey at our website, WZMQ19.com. Bills to address staffing shortages in Michigan prisons are being held back from receiving a signature from the governor. The bills passed in the legislature before the end of the year, but new House leadership has intervened. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sandra Murphy has more on the bills the Speaker of the House is withholding from the governor's desk.
Bills are ready to be signed by the governor that would add corrections officers to the Michigan State Police pension system.
It was a tremendous victory for our corrections officers and for the whole UP team from last term.
Correctional facilities across the state are operating with staff shortages. Last summer, MCO released reports for 11 facilities to outline the overtime and staffing crisis.
We're coming up on a decade here of a staffing situation.
The bills passed with bipartisan support, just in time for the end of last year's legislative term. They were waiting to be approved by the governor when the new House of Representatives took over and Republican leadership put them on hold.
All of our months and quite frankly years of advocacy it felt like it had paid off.
The new Speaker of the House, Matt Hall, pulled 9 different bills for legal review. He says some of the bills have errors in the legal language, including the corrections pension bills.
We think the language speaks for itself, and we're hopeful that, upon a cursory review, Mr. Hall concurs with everybody else and moves this on to the governor.
Osborne says those bills are the only plan currently in the works and will be essential for enabling facilities to incentivize the job, retain current employees, and attract new ones.
But there's still more that has to be done to make it a safer work environment and a place where our staffing numbers are robust.
MCO is working to urge Speaker Hall to let the legislation reach the governor's desk, but no plan has been shared to address the bills. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
Thanks, Sophia. President-elect Donald Trump, picks for top cabinet positions will be put to the test this week. Tomorrow is the first of more than a dozen cabinet confirmation hearings this week alone. Senators will question former Congressman Doug Collins, Trump's pick for Secretary of Veterans Affairs, North Dakota Governor Doug Bargum, Trump's pick for Secretary of the Interior, and lastly, Pete Hegseth, the veteran and former Fox News host who Trump chose to lead the Department of Defense. A few weeks ago, Hegseth was in hot water fighting allegations of sexual assault, excessive drinking, and mismanaging the finances of a nonprofit. Pam Bondi, Trump's choice to lead the Justice Department, she is scheduled for 2 days of questioning by the senators on Wednesday and Thursday. Others, like Marco Rubio, the nominee for Secretary of State, and Elise Stefanik, Trump's pick for UN ambassador, might see support from Democrats. Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman has publicly expressed support for both Rubio and Stefanik. Democrats have warmed up to some nominees as well. Political experts say why.
There are a couple of Democratic wild cards. We've seen people like Fetterman and Sanders indicate some support of people that you might not normally consider, but they're really looking at outcomes, and they're looking at the performance of government and what will get done, knowing that they're not going to get nearly close to everything they want out of a Trump administration. But are there some pet policies that they have that could be moved forward by some of these appointees?
Experts say nominees including Tulsi Gabbard, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and Kash Patel could still see an uphill battle in the Republican-controlled Senate. Officials estimate about 250,000 people are expected to make their way to Washington, D.C. to watch the presidential inauguration. Law enforcement officials rolled out their security plan for the big event. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports.
Our message today is very direct. We're prepared.
Security will be tight for President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration.
We expect much larger crowds. There are going to be nearly 250,000 ticketed guests attending the inauguration.
About 25,000 law enforcement and military personnel will be here to ensure safety. There will be temporary flight restrictions around D.C. and expect major road closures.
The Secret Service will bring agents and other specialists from field offices across the country to provide a full slate of visible and invisible security measures. All attendees will undergo screening. Designated checkpoints will be set up for members of the public interested in attending the inauguration.
Now, fencing like this went up around the Capitol building ahead of the January 6th election certification and ahead of President Jimmy Carter's lying in state here at the Capitol building, and it'll stay up throughout the inauguration ceremony. Officials say about 30 miles worth of anti-scale fencing will be used as a security measure for the inauguration. Officials are also bracing for protests.
And please know that MPD will ensure your right to peacefully protest and assemble. However, I want to reiterate, as I always have, that violence, destruction, and unlawful behavior will not be tolerated.
In Washington, D.C., Rachel Knapp, WZMQ 19 News.
Thanks, Rachel. Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after the break, plus the biggest tech event in the United States. The Consumer Electronics Show is underway in Las Vegas, and a wheelchair update and a Florida man, a positive story from a Florida man, how he's helping make custom wheelchairs available to everyone.
John's Auto has been voted the #1 dealer to buy pre-owned vehicle for longer than I've been alive. If you're looking for a vehicle, or if you're looking for someone to help with your current car, or if you need to get yours looking like new again, come see us at John's Auto Sales and Service, Marquette.
Illuminate your home and save big money on lighting at Menards. Find your style with over 75 in-stock Patriot lighting pendants on sale. Accent any space, adding beauty and elegance to your home. Get this Denzel pendant for $24.99. Sylvania True Wave LED bulbs mimic natural sunlight, helping you see and feel better. Receive a $10 rebate with a purchase of $40 or more on True Wave LED bulbs. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. It's that time of year again. Medicare annual enrollment period is here. From October 15th until December 7th, you have the opportunity to make changes to your Medicare Advantage plan. The annual enrollment period is started and will end on December 7th. Now is the time to speak with a licensed agent about your Medicare Advantage options and to find out about the benefits available to you with the Medicare Advantage plan. Mark your calendars and make the most of the Medicare annual enrollment period.
Call 800-517-8602.
This week, Cool Bears All New with David Schwimmer, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, and Adam Scott. The Late Show, all new, CBS this week.
The greatest sportsmen and women. Icons of our time and beyond. Timeless quality, superbly crafted stories showcasing the greatest sports heroes and their incredible winning moments. The Immortals, the greatest athletes of all time.
Is your parents' car sounding funny? Do you hear any clunks, rattles, squeaks, or leaks? Tell them to call John's Auto Service Department for fast, friendly, and affordable service. Come see us at John's Auto Sales and Service, Marquette.
Now, WZMQ TV19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Tom DeVecchio.
Cold air gripping the Marquette region for the next day or two. That'll mean some lake effect snow showers. Even here in Marquette, we'll see some snow, heavier amounts in the traditional snow belts for the rest of the Upper Peninsula. Temperature is going to be a ping pong ball here. Cold for now, rising into the 30s by the end of the week. And then we get some of the coldest air of the season, Arctic plunge for later in the weekend and into early next week. Hopefully the last of the real Arctic plunges, but of course, there's no promises on that. We're in the middle of what we call meteorological winter, which starts on December 1st and ends at the end of February 28th. So how are things looking across the country? We have a lot of snow on the ground here. 54% of the United States is covered by snow. That's the highest coverage in 8 years, with an average snow depth of 3.5 inches of snow. You can see the snow goes all the way down into the northern parts of Georgia, Mississippi, into Oklahoma. Good amounts here from Kansas, courtesy of some storm systems that have passed along through the Ohio Valley. And decent amounts, of course, up into Canada and in the mountains as well. So compared to last year when we had 32% coverage, snow is coverage as of now is a lot more established this year. And we get a little snow here for the kids to head on to school. Bundle up. Wind chills will be near 0. And more snow showers as the kids come home in the afternoon. Get some snowshoes on them because it could be a couple of inches on the ground in Marquette, as you can see. Through Tuesday, the winds go more north-northwest. Those good bands come in. They do tend to diminish during the afternoon as the winds shift to the south and west. And then the southerly flow begins on Wednesday morning, and that will bring in a nice ending to the snowfall. But 1 to 2 inches lawns toward Marquette by daybreak for Tuesday morning. Higher amounts in the belts, and we'll get more snow. Total snow for Tuesday afternoon will be, or Tuesday night will be about 3, maybe 3.5 inches for Marquette itself. So temperatures around the area tonight, single digits near the Wisconsin border, lower teens elsewhere. Probably not getting above 20 for most of you tomorrow. You saw those lake effect snow bands and who's going to get hit. As always, be careful on the roadways, drive safe. Temperatures warm up near 32 Thursday, and maybe the first time we get above freezing this year on Friday. But then a sharp drop in temperature Saturday, transition day. That'll lead to only single digits and below 0 temperatures, coldest air of the season for Sunday and into early next week.
Thanks, Tom. The world's largest technology show, the Consumer Electronics Show, wrapped up this past weekend. Andres Gutierrez has a report on the future of robotics.
Good morning, Aria. Tell us about yourself.
Good morning. I'm Aria, the flagship female companion robot of Realbotics, designed for fun and engaging interactions.
Aria is a lifelike robot that doesn't walk but does make human motions and uses AI to answer questions, a bit like Siri or Alexa. Aria, what are your hobbies?
I enjoy exploring new technologies.
But she doesn't always have an answer.
I currently don't have the correct information to answer that question.
Aria and a similar robot named Melody are the creation of Realbotics. Andrew Kegel is the CEO.
That they have this AI that has a memory and a vision, so they'll be able to recognize you, remember your prior conversations, and have a personal interaction and bond with you.
Companion robots are becoming popular and often look like a cartoon character or an animal, like this dog marketed as an emotional support robot. The Japanese company behind this one is called Romi and is designed to be a friend you can have a conversation with. Bali from Samsung promises to be a personal assistant that can act as your eyes and ears at home when you're away. And robots are expected to improve thanks to a new open source platform from NVIDIA called Cosmos.
For reinforcement learning AI feedback.
How's that going to be a game changer for them?
One of the big hurdles is getting these humanoid robots to be a little more smooth. So the concept with NVIDIA is, what if we put them in a virtual simulation where they can learn how to operate in our world smoothly before actually bringing them into our world?
Those advancements could help bring down development costs. Right now, Aria sells for $150,000, a steep price for a personal robot. Andres Gutierrez,
CBS News, Las Vegas.
An unstoppable Jennifer Lopez starts streaming this week, while a Japanese boy band prepares to wow the crowds in the U.S. Tina Kraus has today's Eye on Entertainment.
I got you. I'm here.
MGM Amazon Studios hopes there won't be a dry eye in the house this week when feel-good sports movie Unstoppable begins streaming.
People look at me, the first thing they see is what's missing.
It's based on the true story of wrestling champion Anthony Robles, who was born with one leg.
That's my son.
Jennifer Lopez plays his mother.
What, you're not going to cheer?
Lopez says she drew on her own experience as a mom to her twins to prepare for the role.
For moms, it really is a thing where you're always putting up the front of like everything's perfect, everything's okay, to protect your children, to give them safety, right? But there is so much going on usually behind the scenes of any woman, of any mom.
Unstoppable starts streaming on Prime Video Thursday. Japanese boy group Psychic Fever says they hope to perform their hip-hop and R&B infused tunes on a world tour as they prepare to kick off a series of concerts in the U.S. next month. Their latest single, the disco-inspired Paradise, came out last week. And for the first time in their 40-year history, the Italian design duo Dolce & Gabbana are showcasing their work in Paris, featuring 200 original creations in the French capital's iconic Grand Palais exhibition hall. The exhibit will run until springtime.
Still ahead, how one man is on a mission to help wheelchair users get the help they need.
The wait is over. England Furniture's quick shipping is back at Kirkish Furniture. Choose your style and fabric and receive your furniture in as little as 30 days. Browse our in-stock selection or let our staff help you customize the perfect sofa or chair. Plus, 1 year free financing and free delivery.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. It's that time of year again. Medicare annual enrollment period is here. From October 15th until December 7th, you have the opportunity to make changes to your Medicare Advantage plan. Find the plan that suits your health care needs. The annual enrollment period is started and will end on December 7th. Now is the time to speak with a licensed agent about the Medicare Advantage options and to find out about the benefits that may be available to you with the Medicare Advantage plan. The Medicare annual enrollment period allows you to shop for plans that include your preferred doctors and specialists. Getting started is easy.
Call 800-517-8602
and compare different plans available in your area. Take the time to review your coverage and make any necessary changes. Mark your calendars and make the most of the Medicare annual enrollment period. Medicare annual enrollment period is your chance to ensure you find a plan that's right for your needs. Don't wait. Act now.
Call 800-517-8602.
It's Shunk's Big Winter Sale. It's that time of year when you spend more time on your sofa, more time on your recliner, and more time in bed. During Shunk's Big Winter Sale, you'll save on the furniture you need. There's big discounts on all Flex Steel furniture, like this leather Flex Steel Power Reclining Groups, 55% off. And there's big savings on Lazy Boy recliners, over 35 different models to choose from, and they're all on sale. They start at just $449. Shop Shunk's Big Winter Sale at both locations for big discounts. Shop Shunk's in Marquette today.
The world's longest running prank show is back. Just for laughs, gags.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Kevin Hodge.
Hello, I'm John Truitt in for Kevin Hodge. Wheelchairs can cost tens of thousands of dollars, which puts them out of reach for many people who need them. Now, a man in Florida is teaming up with organizations that are helping people get custom-made wheelchairs just for them. Christian Benavides has more.
For many in the disabled community, Angel, Pardo,
is a man who lives up to his name.
We've been doing custom wheelchairs for the last 40 years. It's all I've done most of my adult life.
It empowers us to be more independent.
Last month, Florida resident Gabriel Vergara, who has muscular dystrophy, received one of his wheelchairs. Pardo and his team build the custom chairs, from monster trucks to superhero themes, with a typical cost of about $40,000, out of reach for most people with disabilities.
It changes their life completely. The people that receive these chairs would otherwise not be getting one.
Vergara's customized wheelchair came at no cost, thanks to a partnership between Pardo's DMR Wheelchairs and the Daryl Gwynn chapter of the Bonnie Conti Fund to Cure Paralysis.
By giving this wheelchair, he was able to, to have this smile on his face, and then now he's hoping to be able to get back into the workforce and continue his rehabilitation. That's priceless.
Vergara says as his disease progresses, he's grateful for his new wheelchair, something he could never afford on his own.
To have a more sense of living, to improve the quality of our life, and to be a more productive member in society.
He's a very deserving person. It was very rewarding to see him get this chair that makes such a difference in his life.
Pardo also gives a year of fittings and maintenance free to all recipients.
Through the wheelchair program, partnership, and donations, Pardo is able to continue his work. In other health news, eating more fiber protects your body from infections. A study by the University of Cambridge found by eating more vegetables, whole grains, and beans, our body grows more healthy bacteria in the gut and reduces the amount of dangerous bacteria. This could help protect us from everything from E. coli to pneumonia. Inventors overseas are looking to fight plastic pollution by making recycled bed frames, a move aimed at helping tons of waste from piling up in landfills. Tina Kraus has this story.
John Stell wants to revolutionize the way the world sleeps, one piece of plastic at a time.
It takes about 1 hour to make a king single.
In an Australian factory that looks a bit like a giant Lego shop, engineers are building bed frames made from 100% recycled plastic.
It's a fantastic circular economy solution. It may even be a world first.
The bed bases are made from plastic pellets, collected from everyday items like buckets, crates, and tarps. Builders say each twin-sized frame saves 16 pounds of plastic from being dumped in landfills. To check sturdiness of the sustainable design, 200-pound athletes put them to the test.
I think it's really good. It's just completely noise-free. So there's no creaking, there's nothing like that.
Each bed frame is expected to hold up for a decade before being recycled into yet another one.
Means the life cycle of this plastic and the useful life cycle of this plastic can be generations long.
And creators say more eco-friendly furniture is on the way. With millions of tons of plastic waste piling up in the world's landfills every year, bed makers say they're doing their part to help end the environmental nightmare.
Coming up, we have a story about how cold it is somewhere else, right after the break.
How much longer? Relax. I can't. This online betting thing is getting out of control. Come on, we're having fun. But we need to pay rent, buy books, groceries. Blah, blah, blah. They're called priorities for a reason. We'll get to those things. Maybe. This isn't gonna end well.
Don't regret the bet. For tips that will help you play it smart, go to don'tregretthebet.org. A message from the Michigan Gaming Control Board.
This week, Colbert's All New with David Schwimmer, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, and Adam Scott. The Late Show, all new, CBS This Week.
Gold Bond believes touch says everything. It says, I see you, I feel you, and I know you. Gold Bond. Get in touch with irresistibly touchable skin.
These hands are working hands. My hands are the most important tools I have. You need to take care of them. That's where O'Keeffe's comes in.
It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief.
If it works for these hands, it'll work for yours.
Also available in O'Keeffe's Lip Repair.
Some places talk about being local, but we actually are local. Our family started Superior Collision 18 years ago, and we're still the ones who own and operate it today. No big company name, no outside investors. We are all Marquette, and we're going to stay that way. We are part of this community, and we are proud of the work we do. You can choose to go to a corporate body shop, or you can stay local and go to Superior Collision, Marquette's local hometown body shop.
The Shortlist, a countdown show that's all sports. See the greatest names and the greatest games in all sports. Sports fans love it, and you will too. That's The Shortlist, only from SSN, the Cindy Sports Network.
Final look at the weather for the Upper Peninsula. Lake effect snow showers for tonight. Marquette 1, maybe an inch and a half by daybreak tomorrow morning, so be careful on the roadways. Higher amounts along the shores of western shores of Lake Superior and northwest of Newberry into Sault Ste. Marie could get a decent amount. But of course, along the Wisconsin border toward Iron River, very little snow is expected. And Marquette, another couple of inches possible for Tuesday, with again up to maybe 3.5 inches all said and done by the end of the day. Tomorrow, higher amounts in the belts. Temperatures, a steady warm-up Wednesday, slight, and then bigger warm-up for Thursday into the mid-30s on Friday. So, but the top of the bell-shaped curve, we go down as we head toward the weekend. Saturday, cold, some light snow, and that Arctic front goes through. And the coldest air of the season that we will see for Sunday into Monday, not getting out of the single digits for highs and below 0 for lows. Kevin.
Finally tonight, it may be cold in the UP, but parts of Canada are downright frigid. And it's making for some pretty spectacular photography. Check this footage out, taken by a woman in east central Saskatchewan, captured the moment water was tossed into the air, instantly freezing in the sub-zero temperatures. The area recorded a temperature of -22 Celsius, which is about -8 Fahrenheit, with a wind chill of -36 Celsius and -33 Fahrenheit. Frostbite warnings were issued to parts of Saskatchewan. The Weather Service warned of the risk of frostbite through Monday night, as temperatures would remain well below freezing. And that's it for our newscast tonight. Please join us tomorrow at 6 and 11 for more WZMQ 19 News.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
Houghton's the spot where we get all 4 seasons, the snow, the shine, everything in between. So the shoes are everything. You know, what you have is going to help you perform better,